This is part 2 of my airway management video. So my patient is now supine. We are going to have to assist with ventilations, but first we're going to check the patient's airway with a head tilt chin lift, and we're assessing it. We are seeing if it needs to be cleared. We're deciding that it does, so we get our suction set up, plugged in, everything's hooked up. And for sake of the video, I'm not actually going to turn it on because it's really loud, but I'm going to go in only as far as I can see into the patient's mouth and then suction out for no more than 15 seconds. Then as soon as I'm done, I'm going to give 2 breaths. I'm looking for a good bilateral chest rise, so I gave 2 breaths. Now I'm going to hook up my BVM, inflate the bag, and hook it up to oxygen at 20 liters per minute. And I'm going to ventilate for 30 full seconds, 1 breath every 5 to 6 seconds, or 12 breaths per minute. We're still looking for equal bilateral chest rise. So just for sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and say that was 30 seconds. We're going to get ready to drop an NPA, so we're going to measure it from the corner of the mouth to the earlobe. Check for eyelash flutter, or check for gag reflex using the eyelash flutter. I'm going to lube it using the bevel to the inside. We're going to insert. I'm trying to, where you can see, sorry. We're going to resume ventilations using the EC and method. Now we're going to measure our OPA. Again, check for gag reflex, no eyelash flutter. We're going to go, let's see if I can get this really good. Hold on. Like this. And then we're going to do a 180 and drop it down. Sorry. We're going to resume ventilations and confirming that the patient has gentle chest rise with each breath. Goodness. If the patient didn't, we'd need to troubleshoot and correct the situation. We are now going to hand off ventilations to our partner while I reassess the patient. So my partner is going to breathe at a rate of 10 to 12 breaths per minute, and ensuring that they have gentle chest rise with each breath. I'm going to assess the patient's lung sounds now. So we're going to do bilateral upper and bilateral lower. At this point, I would put end-tidal CO2 on the BVM. So now we're going to begin with the insertion of the LMA. So I have my LMA here. Open. All right, so I'm going to visually assess by inflating to the correct. So it's 30 cc's of air. We're going to inflate, and we're going to check for proper inflation by palpating the upper balloon, and we're not to touch the cuffs. So then we're going to deflate with the correct amount, another 30 cc's to ensure we get all the air. We're going to lube the distal tip. And we need to make sure that our this size is the correct size. So these are weight based. So this is going to be a size 3, which is 30 to 50 kilograms. We are going to remove our OPA. There we go, and ensuring that there's no air. We have our air ready to go at the correct, and we're going to insert. Trying to do this one-handed. Hold on. Again, we're gonna inflate. And we inserted until resistance was met. We inflated. My partner is going to apply the BVN and begin ventilating through. And we're going to ensure that we have good bilateral chest rise. And my partner is going to resume that. I'm going to check lung sounds. And so we're going to do mid-axillary region. We want to ensure that it's in the correct place, and we don't want to hear any epigastric sounds. So if there were anything other than good lung sounds or sounds coming from the stomach, we would need to troubleshoot. Otherwise, if everything is good, we determine that the device has been placed appropriately. We're going to resume ventilations at a rate of 10 to 12 per minute, assessing for gentle chest rise and good bilateral lung sounds, attaching the end-tidal CO2, and we're going to secure, I don't have my tape, but we're going to secure the tube from here, ensuring that it's folded over and then it doesn't hurt the patient's skin necessarily. And we're going to ensure that the patient is then ventilated at proper rate and depth by monitoring the O2 sat with capnography if it's available, and if we aren't already, transport.